Boyett, Mason, and Scott, and we're going to talk about the process of casting propeller for a cargo ship.
All right, here's a couple example pictures of the type of propellers we're talking about that are typically found on large cargo vessels or oil tankers. The propeller itself, it must be cast in one solid part. They don't want to cast it in a couple separate parts because any seams or anything in the propeller itself will affect the fuel efficiency. The propeller must be as lightweight as possible, and it's designed, the shape of it is specifically designed to be as efficient as possible. It should be a balance of speed and fuel efficiency depending on the exact purpose. And the propellers must be durable enough to travel over 1.4 million miles during its lifetime, which is a lot of miles. So they need to have a durable propeller for that. As far as the metal composition of the propellers, it's normally a bronze or brass alloy consisting mostly of copper with aluminum, nickel, iron, and zinc added. This is a very durable alloy. As we mentioned, the propeller needs to be incredibly durable, and they choose these elements for this alloy specifically for that durability, as well as the need of the mold to be one solid piece. It can't be multiple pieces. And the foundry they melt this stuff in reaches an excess of 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so the process of casting this propeller is a sand casting type. And so sand casting consists of a pattern and a mold. So the pattern for this propeller is created by getting wooden planks, as shown in the image on the right. And these planks are glued and screwed together to form the shape of the propeller. And so then that's inserted into a mold where it's surrounded by sand. And so this can be any type of sand, really, just because sand does a really good job of insulating the material. And so it's not going to get melted by the heat. It's not really going to get damaged or shrink too much. And so after sand surrounds this pattern, the pattern is carefully removed so that it creates a cavity within the sand that's the exact shape of the piece you want. So in this case, the propeller pattern is removed, and so within the sand, it won't be visible, but there should be a cavity that exactly resembles how we want the propeller to look. So then once we have the cavity formed within the mold, it's time to pour the material in there. So like Mason was saying, these metals are heated up and liquefied up into 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. And so then once it gets that high, the liquid metal is poured into the mold. And so it's poured in until it fills that entire cavity. And then there'll be some spews in the mold so that you can see where the liquid metal starts to ease out. And that's when you know that the cavity is full. And so then after the material's been cooled, which takes about 4 to 5 days, once it's been cooled, it's time to remove the sand and the other residue that's stuck to the propeller. So this propeller is it's hung up, and then they use chisels, and even in this case, since it was so large, an excavator to remove sand and other residue that's stuck to the hot metal when it was cooling and forming its shape.
All right, so like Luke was saying, the propeller will come out, and it'll be really nasty, and it definitely won't be smooth at all. And for the propeller to be very efficient, they need to make the propeller as smooth as possible. So with this, they use an automated machine, almost kind of like a Dremel, that goes through and it makes it as smooth as possible. It goes through every part of the propeller, and this alone takes about 15 days for it to do. And then after this, they have to add a yellow coating on top of it, which is basically an anti-corrosion. And but they need this because these propellers last up to like 25 years, and they need to not corrode at all because that'll reduce the efficiency drastically. And this is just a final picture of the propeller. As you can see how smooth it is. You can't see any bumps at all. And this really helps whenever it's traveling, like Luke said, so many miles in the water. And you can see the yellow for all the anti-corrosion.
All right, thanks for taking the time to listen to us. Here's some references that we used to get our information about this propeller and just the different processes that went into forming it. Thank you again for your time.